It is March, or the end of March, and I'm just now getting to this video. So we're going to be doing the reading challenges that I have chosen for the year of 2026. It's the Buzzword-a-thon, the Keyword Reading Challenge, and the Black Author Reading Challenge as well. So we're going to go ahead and start with Buzzreadathon, and the book that I chose for March is Motion. Oh, okay. So Motion is the cover for like the cover challenge, and then This or That has to be in the title. So I'm choosing None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. It's about a famous podcaster who ends up meeting her birthday twin, and I believe that things go sideways really, really quickly. And I'm excited. So I chose this one for the Motion because, you know, it looks like the letters are moving. And obviously this for This or That. And then for the Keyword Reading Challenge, I am choosing The Throne of the Broken Gods, which is the second book in the series. I absolutely loved the first book in 2024. I just didn't get to this one in 2025, so we're going to be reading that for the word broken. And then I also picked Dark Sisters for the word dark. I know that this is a horror book about sisters. Yeah, so the last book that we're going to read is this Cursed House, and this is for the Black Author Readathon for March. It is a creepy title. I personally don't want to go to a cursed house. I don't think a lot of people do, unless, you know, you want to go on like ghost adventures and stuff like that. I like watching ghosty things, but I don't want to go to a place like that, because knowing me and my luck, something would attach to me and come back home. Okay, so those are the 4 books that we're going to be reading in this particular vlog. Hopefully you enjoy it, and I'll let you know when I start one. Okay, let you know which one I pick first. So I started to read None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. I didn't have a lot of expectations going into this because I've heard so things about it, but y'all, Josie, I don't want, Josie's something else. She is a little wackadoodle, and she kind of scares me a little bit. And I don't say that lightly, okay? She's a terrifying person. Josie and Alex are birthday twins. They have the same birthday. They were born at the same hospital. They're they are the same age. And Alex is celebrating her 45th birthday at a bar. She comes across Josie, and Josie's like, oh my god, birthday twins. And then Josie just starts showing up everywhere. Everywhere. And she is a little stalkery, but she becomes friendly with Alex. She realizes that Alex has a podcast where people come on and talk about their real life things. So Josie is like, hey, I have a really insane story, and I would like for you to interview me, since, you know, we're birthday twins and all that kind of stuff. And once you get into Josie's life, holy hell, when it says None of This Is True, if her story is a farce, okay, and I just sat through this entire freaking book and thinking what I'm thinking about Josie, and she's lying about everything, I'm gonna be pissed, and I'm not gonna give this book a good rating. But if it continues to go the way that I think that it's gonna go, wow, okay, wow. So this book is about like obsession. Josie becomes a little bit obsessed with Alex. She is jealous of Alex's life. And I think that she's also kind of falling in love with Alex a little bit. I think there's some wanting to become Alex. And yeah, Josie's she's scary. She is scary. She's also, should I tell you about that? I think that's a spoiler. Anyways, just know that she's obsessed with Alex. She wants Alex to be her friend. I also think that she wants Alex, and she wants Alex's life and all of the above. But then there's also something else going on with her kid. I don't know where the story is going to go. But if it goes one way, like I said, I'm going to be mad. If it goes the other way, I'm going to be like, holy crap. like new favorite thriller. Okay. As you can tell, I am enjoying this so far, and it has surprised the crap out of me because like I said, I didn't go into this with very high hopes, but I like it. Like it a lot so far. Hopefully it doesn't ruin it for me, you know, and hopefully not. Please excuse the way I look. I did not sleep well last night. I don't feel like doing my hair. And I just want to talk to you about this book, because this book left me, it was a mind, okay? It was just that. And I'm still kind of reeling about the end. You know, when I said that if it goes this way, I'm going to give it 5 stars. If it goes this way, I'm going to give it like a 2. I'm going to give it a 4 because the ending, I wasn't expecting that. Not at all. Josie still scares the crap out of me. Her whole family, honestly, is terrifying. They are some weird little people, and they do some weird little things, and all of them have some issues going on. And yeah, this book was just like it was different. It was different and something that I was not expecting, which is always a good thing when it comes to thrillers. So I think that if you were looking for like a mind-bending thriller where you think things are happening a specific way and they still happen, but then you get a twist at the end and you're like, dang, I think you would like this. It is, it's one of those books that I'm going to be thinking about for a little bit, because I'm still kind of like, oh, okay, at the end. I'm not sure if my thoughts are conveying how my true feelings are, because I still am just kind of confused. Not confused, but just kind of like, okay, you know? Yeah, so not a bad book at all. I like this. I think a lot of people would really like this book, especially who are not used to thrillers and are just kind of getting into the thriller genre, possibly looking for some like domestic psychological thrillers. I think that they would really like this. I think Lisa Jewell did a really good job with this in incorporating podcasty interviews in along the way too, and just kind of like giving us little breadcrumbs along the way. I think she did a good job with it. This is like a solid Lisa Jewell book, in my opinion. So yes, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Next book we're going to read for this particular video is Dark Sisters. All I know is that it's a historical horror about 3 women in 3 different generations, and I think a curse. Does it say curse? Maybe a curse or a legacy, witchcraft. Oh, witchcraft. Okay, so like a curse or something like that, you know. They have to fight for their lives. I have the audiobook for this. I also had an ARC for this a long time ago, like when it first came out, and I just didn't get to it. So I wanted to support the author by getting the audiobook, also book of the month book. And we'll see how it goes. I've heard that it's very dark. I have seen a lot of good reviews on this. And I like witchy books. I'm a witchy book fan. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know what I think, okay? I ended up finishing 2 books for this video. I just haven't updated you in a couple days because I've been a little busy. But the first one I read was Dark Sisters, and I'm gonna give it a 3.75. I wasn't really liking this book at the very beginning. I honestly thought that I was going to DNF it because I just wasn't connecting with the story at all. I thought it was very slow. I thought it was very boring. But once we got to almost the halfway point and realized like what's happening in this actual book, I was sucked into the story. So we have 3 women in 3 different generations who live in this very small, oh my god, this is another religious book. I just talked about another. Anyways, a very small religious town, and if you don't follow the social norms or the social expectations of this town, somehow, some way, women have randomly, mysteriously ended up dead. And all 3 of these characters in this book are connected in some way. There's this tree in the town that people use for their advantage in whatever way it is. I'm just going to say that. I know that I'm being very like not explaining, but I don't want to spoil this for any of you. But just know, for some reason, women end up mysteriously dead. And it's said to be a self-exit. Nobody cares that these women are dead except the women in this town. The men could give two rips that it's happening, and the way that it's happening to this woman, or to these women. But there is some witchy tones. There's some paranormal tones in this book. There are some, so what I can tell you, I'll just read you what's on here, okay? What's on the synopsis, because I don't want to go too far into it. Okay, so we have Anne Bolton, who is facing prosecution for witchcraft in the 1700s. Imagine that. Mary Shepherd, she's a picture-perfect wife who is who's in a suffocating relationship. She has a baby as well. Her husband is considered a really good guy, but he's actually a piece of crap. And she's actually in love with this woman named Sharon. And then we have Camilla Burson, who is a rebellious daughter of a preacher. She doesn't care about religion all that much. She wants to, you know, figure life out on her own, and she realizes that her dad is not who she thought he was. That's basically what this book is. But you gotta go read it, okay? You gotta read it. It's good. It's a good one. It just takes a little bit to get there, and that's why I'm giving it a 3.5, 3.75 instead of a 4. Because if the beginning would have picked up a little bit more, then I would have given it a 4. But it just took a little bit too long to get there for me. But it's not a bad book by any means. The audiobook is really good. It's really, really good. Next book that I ended up reading, oh my god, it is The Throne of Broken Gods by Amber V. Nicole. Ooh, I'm giving it a 4. Just because it was entirely way too long. It did not need to be that long. It was very repetitive at times. But y'all, Diana and Sam Kyle, oh, I love them so much. They are such a good couple. And in this book, Diana, I can't tell you a lot because it follows perfectly with the last book. It starts right at where the last book ended. And if you've read the first book, you know what happened at the end of that book. It left on such a cliffhanger, and Diana full on rages in this book, and I was like, get 'em girl. She let it out and she just went freaking nuts, and I loved it. Okay, I loved it so much. But this book does not need to be as long as it is. It could have cut out a good like 150, 200 pages, and it still would have given you exactly what you needed out of their relationship, out of the plot, out of all of the characterization in here, the setup for the next book. It would have given you all of that. But I really, really like this series. I liked the character development that we got from Diana, because she is just a broken character. She loves with all of her heart. She is so loyal to those that she loves, and she gets the shit end of the stick almost every single time. And then Sam Kyle gets in there and he shows her what like true love actually is, but she doesn't think that she deserves true love just because of everything that she's done in her life. But y'all, they are so broken and they are so cute. I love them. Okay, I loved them together so much. They just like, I loved them, and I'm gonna obviously continue with the series because it's really, really good, and I am very interested to see how the third book's going to go, because of course it left on another cliffhanger. So yeah. The next book that we're going to read in this particular video is The Cursed House. I had this one on audio. There's a bug. But I also was able to get the audiobook for like, okay, I have this book on audio, I was also able to get the Kindle, like the ebook, for $5.99, so I just went ahead and got it. Anyways, I've had this book on my shelf for a while. I was able to get it through NetGalley. I might have lied to you. I was able to get it in some way early. Maybe it was a promotion on one of the book, I don't remember, but I was able to get it early, and I didn't get to it in time. So we are going to read The Cursed House because the prompt for March is a scary title, and I really do not want to ever have to go to a cursed house. You can do that all you want to, but me, I am not going to do that. But I've heard that this book is really emotional. It's a paranormal horror, and it is set in Gothic Southern area. It's a Southern Gothic horror book. I can't speak. This week has been a long week and I'm tired, but 'tis Friday and I am not feeling the greatest. I am doped up on some NyQuil. Or no, I'm doped up on some Dayquil. And yeah, I'm just feeling the springness, you know. But wanted to let you know that I ended up finishing this Cursed House. And I'm going to give it a 3. I loved the premise of this. I loved the investigativeness that Gemma had to go through to figure out why her family is cursed, and just going through that process. But this story was so much telling me and not enough showing me. It kind of felt like a nonfiction text at times, with the amount of information that was thrown at us about what's going on in this house. I really thought that Gemma was like in her a teenager, but she's 27 and she just did not feel like a 27-year-old to me. She felt a lot younger to me. But essentially she gets this offer to be like a tutor or something like that at this house. She realizes that the family that is that owns the house and that lives in the house, not only are they super racist, they are also like linked to her in some way. And the way that she goes about investigating how this family is linked to her and what lengths they will go to save their lineage, I guess you could say, was intense to me. It was very intense. This book is very dark, especially when it comes to hatred. The hatred that people feel towards people of color. Gemma is darker skinned. She does not look like the family. And they let her know that she is not as great as them, which I think is the stupidest mindset ever, but whatever. I hated the family. I thought that Gemma was way too forgiving, and I thought that she should have just let them all live in their own demise, honestly, but she did not. So anyways, I will check out more from this author because I did like the overall storytelling of this and everything, but it was just very telling me and not showing me enough stuff, and it got a little bit boring and repetitive in the middle. But overall, it wasn't a bad book, and I think a lot of people could get a lot out of this, especially if you like haunted house stories and stuff like that. I think that you would enjoy this. But yes, my overall rating for this video is a 3.62, not too shabby, if I do say so myself. I did find some authors that I'm going to continue to read from. I found a thriller that I liked, which is like a big feat this year, because last year and this year have not been great with the thrillers for me. So I will take a 4-star for a thriller. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this video, and if you're enjoying these, because I am literally about to start my April one right after I end this, okay? Let me know how you're feeling. Okay, bye.